If you've ever wondered what it's like to get into high-ticket remote sales, inside of this call with my student Andreas, who's absolutely smashed it, you're going to see exactly step by step how Andreas was able to come in and absolutely change his life and make 12.6k USD literally within less than 7 months. Andreas, bro, what's going on?
What's on?
It's good to obviously finally have you on, man. You just come from where?
Just come from Thailand and just come from Canada. So we're
Nice.
traveling, man. We're traveling.
How you finding Bali so far?
I'm loving it so far, man. It's really cool here.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Well, look, I've been wanting to do this podcast and obviously show the viewers, your journey, because I think it's beautiful to share like where you was before you even really heard about, high ticket remote sales. So for anyone that's watching, for you, what was you actually doing before you even come into high ticket?
What was I doing? You name it, James. So came from the construction world, came from trying a bunch of things online, mainly construction, just working to pay the bills, right? So I didn't know where I wanted to go with my life, kind of feeling lost. And I'm like, you know what? I want to be doing something online.
Yeah.
So me and the girl, we moved to Thailand without really a plan. She was the one basically working online, being a coach, and I was the one trying to make things work, figure it out, doing drop shipping, doing trading. I'm going to make all this money doing trading. I'm going to make all this money doing drop shipping. It's all good. I got to figure it out. And then until I didn't. So I didn't really have those figured out. And then eventually I found sales. I found remote sales in a weird way by a mutual friend of ours, Rafi.
Yeah, good.
And he introduced me. He's a great guy. And he introduced me into sales. And he's like, yeah, what about remote sales, man? You could talk.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what the hell this is. Remote sales. Okay. Oh, you're going to talk on the phone and close people? Okay, that sounds interesting. And it's like, yeah, it just took the plunge, dove in 2 feet forward and then never looked back.
Yeah, and now we're here, man. But I feel like what's important from what you just said by going back a little bit is like you tried like drop shipping, you tried trading. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have, done the e-com, crypto trading, but you had that mindset of like, keeping going. So for you, like what was that drive that really wanted you to just carry on, like figuring out a way how you could make, because I don't even like to use the word like online, but it's like you want to be able to travel, you want to be able to work remotely. Like what was keeping you, like focused on wanting to hit that goal?
Keeping me focused was where I've been in the past, where I was just working, 50 hours, 60 hours a week, sometimes in construction, never having time to spend with family, always being on the road, always being at a job site, being covered in asphalt and tar and breathing in chemicals and
Yeah.
breaking down your body. And I'm like, is this how I want to spend the rest of my life doing this kind of work for like barely making it by? And I was like, absolutely not. And being online, that was where I'm like, yeah, I can travel to Thailand. I can travel different places around the world and work on my laptop and make a living, a better living than what I made, and not break my body down
Yeah.
and have actually more satisfaction in myself that I can do this. I knew there was a way to do it. A bunch of people make money online. I just had to figure out the avenue, and sales was definitely the avenue for sure.
Yeah, and I think as well, like for the viewers that may or not know, like I was also that failed trader, and I think that's how we obviously bonded because we were both going, down the same path, and we wanted that to be the end goal. And obviously, I made the switch, and then Rafi, shared, sales about you. But a lot of people do have like a perceived perception of like of sales. So like before, maybe you even spoke to me, like what was your belief of like what sales was? Because you've always done construction, you haven't really ever done any kind of communication, sales job. Like for you, like what was your belief about sales before actually stepping into it?
My belief about sales, that's a great question. I would say it's more of like, the classic Wolf of Wall Street type,
Yeah.
kind of maybe sleazy car sales guy type of vibe, right? And just trying to get somebody in the door just to get their money and be on with it. And right, not actually working with them, not actually caring about the prospect, about your client, not actually giving up a rat's A
Yeah.
about who they are and what they want to achieve. And until you flip that belief on its head and say, well, we actually have to care what this person wants and actually care about what they need, because you're there to coach them as well. You're not just there to sell them. You're there to coach them and get them past their own beliefs. So until you have that right mindset, I feel like, it's a lot of limiting beliefs with sales, a lot of like pushy car salesman type vibe. That's the only way I think I can put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, totally flipped it on its head. You're not really a salesman. You're just somebody that's reshaping somebody's beliefs to make them get past their own selves, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's beautifully put, man. And like again, it's not even like most people's fault that they have, that belief of sales, because as you say, like Wolf of Wall Street, all of these, movies that have been put out, Boardroom, or like, oh, you got to be high pressure, you've got to say, you've got to close the deal. Um, they're driving obviously these flashy cars and, all these suits and nice watches. It also kind of like drives the younger people come into sales to be like that. And for me personally, like when I seen how different remote sales was, because I did come from that background, nice cars, flashy suits, pressure kind of sales. It was a breath of fresh air to be able to finally get out of that corporate
Yeah.
sales role and be able to come into high ticket. And the way that you explained it, it's like, again, for the viewers, it's like you are there to truly serve someone and help them really just get out of their own way, right? It's like there's a bridge, they're on the other side of the bridge, right? There's a little gap in between, and you're just there basically to guide them and support them and, show them that they can actually hit their full potential. And yeah, there's a few gaps that's missing, but we're going to be able to help smooth them so you can get to where you want to go
Yeah, of course.
a lot quicker. Because most people, YouTube's obviously a minefield. It's got everything out there, right? And most people can learn how to lose weight, how to get into trading, how to do e-com. They can pretty much learn anything on YouTube, right? But a lot of people overwhelm themselves. There's a lot of, different things that you have to try and put together. And most people want to get to, their goal a lot quicker. And that's what I heard from you. You was like, I've done all this trading, I've done all these programs. It's just not clicking for me. It's just not working for me. For you, what made you pull the trigger and like actually invest your hard-earned money into RSA? Because at the time, as you say, things weren't obviously the best for you, but what gave you the belief to, do you know what, this is what I want to do, James, and RSA is the direction for me? What kind of gave you that confidence to pull the trigger?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. Confidence to pull the trigger, I think, is two things. One, I saw the way you were just going about things. I just saw your vibe instantly on Instagram. And I was like, okay, this guy's a real deal. And two, I backed myself into the corner. I was backed. It was like a raccoon back into the corner. It's like, okay, there's no way out but forward. Right. So I said, you know what? This is it. And you made a great point with YouTube and like YouTube learning about everything. You can get information overload. And like, yeah, like somebody that wants to lose weight, they can go to YouTube and they can figure it out. But are they really going to do it? Like information doesn't mean execution.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to back yourself into the corner. You put a little bit of, that investment, that little bit of, quote unquote pain
Yeah.
that we're putting in there. That's actually going to be, an actual investment in ourselves. So it actually forces us to show up because you've done something for yourself. There's a reason why people just don't watch YouTube videos and become magically successful overnight because it's free. If it's free, you're not going to show up. There's no pay in the background. So yeah, you have a little bit of investment. I was like, okay, that forces you, even when you don't feel like doing it, because only motivation can only get you so far. When you're like, maybe, you get demotivated. No, you're like, you've invested in this. Let's keep going. And then the rest is history. We invested, we talked, and became part of RSA. And I loved what I saw. I just kept practicing, kept learning, and we got into an offer. And then I was really happy about that. And the rest is damn history. So it's awesome.
No, definitely. And like, I really love what you say. It's like when you invest in something, right, you pay close attention to wanting to get the outcome because you feel the pain and the emotion of letting go of your hard-earned money, right? But all money is energy, right? And it's like, once you actually put it to use, it will start working for you. But most people just leave it in the bank and it's just getting eaten away by inflation because they don't understand, the system isn't working for you. It's actually working against you. You need a high leverage skill that can actually get you ahead. And, yeah, you pulled the trigger, you backed yourself. And, it's been an incredible journey, man. I know for you, you've just been in Thailand, obviously in Bali, and you're looking to go where next?
We're going to Japan
Yeah.
for a little bit, and then we're going back home for a while, and then
Yeah.
kind of resetting, and then we'll figure it out from there. But that's the freedom we can get. We could just go different places, right? So
Yeah, like you say, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 places because you've got the ability to work remotely, you know? And I think what's even more incredible, like we'll talk about, you know, the results in a moment, but like, you know, your good lady's obviously sat watching us now, and she's also been able to come into this remote space, and even with one of the companies that we partner you with,
yeah,
and absolutely crush it. So for you, like you've obviously gone in, you've got on an offer, and it was a fitness offer,
yeah.
but you also was able to bring your partner in. Like how much of a great feeling is that knowing that you're both working on the same offer and, you know, actually serving and helping people as well?
It's an incredible feeling, simply because we can work together
Yeah.
from home. Not because we have the same role. She could have a different role
Yeah.
altogether, but to get her on, and to see like two sides of the offer, it's really cool. But not only that, just to have her, um, just supporting each other and knowing we're doing the same similar thing, but she's on the back end, and it's really, really cool to see. Just amazing. I can't, there's no words that can
Yeah.
describe it. I wouldn't want to have it any other way. Like, I hate for me to go out to a job and her to go out to a job just for us to both come home and then see each other for 2-3 hours, and then go to bed and then do the same thing over and over and over. This time we get to see each other a lot more. And I think that would maybe break a lot of people up. That brings us closer together.
No, definitely. And I feel like you may break some people's paradigm right now,
Yeah.
you know, like of what's actually possible when you are in the right role, you know, with the right company, you know, because, you know, this company is going to basically do 9 figures, obviously, this year. We can
Yeah.
say that easily. Um, you know, if you don't mind sharing, you know, for obviously your partner, what kind of numbers was she able to rack up? And this is not even doing remote high ticket sales. This is obviously working on the fulfillment and, you know, actually helping and serving these people to, you know, get their results.
She's either she was easily doing, she grew at a faster pace than me, put it that way. So I'm laughing. I'm like, I'm loving it. I'm here for it. So she hit 10K CAD in the first like couple of months.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. And she's basically staying on track on that, like month by month. On average, we're looking at still, high tens,
Yeah,
So it's crazy what she's been pulling through. I love it. I'm all here for it.
definitely, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, for you, Andreas, like what was your best month in high ticket sales so far?
Best month was around 12.6K USD. So for me as a Canadian, it's even better. It's 17K US, or 17K CAD, I should say.
Wow.
Yeah, which is insane.
And what was you making before in construction? Like how big's the difference?
Big's the difference, 3.5, 4K Canadian a month,
So that's about 2.7, 2.8 USD.
2.8 USD, give or
Yeah.
take. That's barely enough to cover the bills and stuff.
So you pretty much nearly 5 extra income.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. I was going into the space like, I'm happy with 4.
Yeah,
And I'm like, 12.7. Man, life-changing.
definitely. Man.
Completely life-changing. Paradigm shifting, life-changing money. And only growing from here, for sure.
Exactly, man. There's a lot more opportunity for you to obviously grow in this space, you know. You obviously, you know, became a team leader as well.
Yeah.
Obviously had your own team, and it's just like in the space of literally like 6, 7 months, you can really, really change your life. Because, you know, we're not going to sit here and say like, oh, this is a walk in the park. It's easy. No, I always like to say this to people. Actually, it's quite funny. I'm like, do you want me to actually tell you how like you could get burnt and not actually get an ROI on your investment? It's actually pretty simple. Don't do any of the training.
Yeah.
You know, don't come to the coaching calls.
Yeah.
Don't do any of the modules.
Yeah.
So then you're not trained. So then you're not going to be interview ready to be able to get hired, and then you're never going to get paid. That's exactly how you're going to get burned. But if you've got the kind of mindset where, do you know what, I'm going to do whatever it takes. You know, it's so easy to be successful in RSA. It's literally 3 steps. Get the right training. We'll help you to be able to get on the offer. We have our own in-house recruitment team, as you know, right?
I know, yeah.
They're obviously going to find you an offer. Then once you get hired, that's when you're going to start getting paid. But once you start getting paid, we want to carry on sharpening your skills so that you can actually increase your income. And that's what I love about the model, because we're not just going to give you the training, and you need to go out there and obviously find a job. We want to make sure that as soon as you finish the training, you can put all of that into practice. So all the hard work that you put into training, you don't go rusty, and you can just execute on an offer. So this is exactly what you did, and we've done it obviously for many others. And I feel like, honestly, man, like, your success is our success. You know, it's amazing to see, man. But I believe you've got a massive career in this space. You've got great energy. You really want to help your prospects. You know,
Yeah.
I was speaking obviously with a few other guys today, you know, and I just said, you know, most closers out there, unfortunately, they give up on their prospects. And a lot of the time it's down to frustration, because they're getting obviously objections, they're getting concerns. But really, maybe it's just a little bit of uncertainty from the prospect, but then they get triggered because maybe they've not had the right training. They get frustrated, and then, just give up on the prospect, you know. And I always like to say this at the end of the day: the only time you ever give up on the prospect is when they just say, no, this is not for me, and I don't want to move forward. But if they're looking to think about it, you know, they want to speak to their partner, like, it's down to you to sit there and offer that support and guide them, so they feel like, do you know what, this is the right step. This guy generally is here to help me. And you will always figure it out together. But as soon as you show emotion and frustration, you basically give up, you know. And this is where a lot of people out there that don't get the right training,
Yeah.
they don't ever get to these 10, 20K plus months, in my opinion. But for you, we obviously done a lot of training together. What stood out to you the most from like the start of the training, where you just thought, you know what, I kind of get this. This makes sense. This is the kind of the person that I need to be.
The start of the train, it's a great question. I want to touch back on what you said earlier. Like, I think this is the process that like sets you apart. And this is me not just saying, oh, this is why you're the best. It's just simply put, like you mentioned, a lot of mentors out there, they'll just train you. And I've noticed this just in the space. They'll train you and then they're like, okay, you're good. Send you on your way. The fact that you train people and then you like actually set them up and train them to get set up on an offer and then keep training them so they get better. That's unheard of. So that's number one. The training aspect of it is the support system you have. It's simple. It's like you said, 3-step process. You just show up to the calls, show up to the training. You're always gonna have role plays with your fellow RSA members. You're always there. They're always there to help. The community you have is just, that's unheard of. Like, I made friends in that community that I would never have before. And we do
Yeah.
training on our own too. So it's like you can just branch off, and not only that, like, this is the support. Simply put, the support that I've gotten, I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for the support. Like, there's a bunch of other programs out there, I'm sure, that will not give you this same type of support, where I could have just fallen off. Basically, not gotten the support. I'm having a little bit of trouble. I'll just fall off the wagon. But the fact that you're always here to help people, and we're always here to, RSA is always there to help people push through the barriers, because, like you said, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're always there to push people, and people can't just get into space and go, you know what, my first 3 weeks, I'm making like 10K.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a build up. But once you're there and you learn the skills, you learn a skill that you're going to have for life. Right. And that's the biggest thing, I think.
Spot on, man. And it's like, for anyone that's watching, it's like, the biggest reason why any relationship breaks down is, number one, communication. Because you can't communicate how you feel properly with your partner, with your family, with your loved ones, because you get frustrated. So once you learn to communicate better, you can solve problems.
Yeah.
But also, when you can solve problems, you get paid. And that's another reason why relationships break down, because of finances.
Yeah.
And as a man, as we both know, right, we have pressure on our shoulders to be able to provide and give our loved ones and our family the best of what we can. And in today's society, 20 years ago, right, yeah, go to school, get a great education, go get a job, get a mortgage. Like, that system back then worked. I'd probably even say like 50 years is probably better.
Yeah.
But in 2026, that model's broken. You're never going to get ahead of inflation. right? You're working with someone else, you're building someone else's dreams, you know? So it's like when you back yourself and you learn the skill of sales, for all of the viewers that are watching, it will change your life because you are going to figure out how to work inside of someone's business and you're actually taking equity, which could be 10, 15, 20%, right? Which means that now you're operating within a business of your own business, which means that you're going to become very knowledgeable and you're going to be educated to one day to be able to go and create your own business because you've seen
Yes.
how a 7, 8, 9 figure operation works, which then gives you the belief system so that you can actually go out there and do it for yourself. And that's what I love about this game. It's like you're not just coming in here to be a closer. You're coming in here to serve and help people, but you're actually there to learn how a business works. And some people might not have the intentions of wanting to do that. But if you want to be a very successful entrepreneur, there's no better way to learn. There's no point going to university to learn marketing and business with AI right now. It's learn the skill of either marketing or sales, get into a business, get your feet wet. And before you know it, your life will change because it will give you more avenues and more directions to be able to really leverage your income. We've obviously got guys that are on track to make, a couple of $100,000 obviously this year, but they didn't make that last year. But it's compounding because their skill set keeps sharpening and they keep getting better. So the offers that they have, they become bigger and they obviously make more money.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Very well put. Very well put. You're right. We're in a different world. It's not what it was 50, 30, even 30 years ago. It's not the same.
Yes.
It's not the same. You can't stay in the rat race. You're always going to be working for somebody. That's the same thing going back to construction, what you told me. Like, why get out? Like, that's the reason. You're building somebody else's dream, right? And the fact of the matter, what you said as well with the sales, you're learning the ins and outs of a business.
Yeah.
And yeah, you want to apply that for your own? Absolutely. If you don't, and you want to continue closing, by all means. But if you want to, apply that for your own, whether it be in the AI space, whatever the case, in whatever offer you get.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing as well. I think more education offers are coming on here. And it's just the online education space is huge. So you're going to there's hundreds of thousands of offers to go to.
Yeah.
And it's just like, pick your poison, essentially, what you want to get to. But yeah, the old model of going to college, get a good job and get your mortgage, get a 401k and retire and you have, 2 cars, a massive house. It's unattainable.
Yeah.
Today's world, unless you do something about it yourself.
Yeah. No, and again, it's like, I had a little look yesterday. It's like we had 170 offers that have come in like the last 3 or 4 days, which is absolutely incredible because at the end of the day, it just gives you confidence that not only can you get on an offer, you can actually pick what specific offer that you feel more aligned to of what you actually want to sell. And you know what, like touching on that, like for most people that are watching, like it's not actually your fault that the system is the way that it is, right? But it is going to be your problem to fix in 2026 because if you don't, unfortunately, like, and I don't want to say this from a place of fear tactic and it's not, I just understand what's happening, right? A lot of people are going to be in a situation in a few years where they just feel like they're stuck and they're never going to get ahead. Like the time to get ahead now, it's not even if it's remote sales, like go and build an online business, like go and obviously learn about AI, right? But once you have the skill, no one can take it away from you. And that's what I love about sales. But yeah, man, I want to say I'm proud of you. And yeah, let's go and get some steak, enjoy Bali. And you're going to have a great year, man.
All right.
Appreciate it, man.
I appreciate it, buddy.
No,
Always,
excellent.
always.